I don't even know what to say. I'm just going to go through the meet. Starting, first of all, something we talked about and something we're trying to get better at was coming out of the march in warmer, more ready to touch vault. Our vault touch was way, way, way better at this meet than it was last meet or any meet actually all year. And that made a really, really big difference. Starting on vault, you got to start out hot. And that touch was one of Lou Ball's goals, I can tell you that. And we achieved that tonight, even though that a score is not accompany the touch, but it does prepare them mentally, physically, but mentally to do what they need to do. And Faith, like to me, the beginning of this whole thing was Faith lighting the match, sticking the very first vault of the night. Because vault, I don't think we've had 3 stuck landings in one meet this year, and this was our highest team vault score. So that made a big difference. So the momentum there, this was the other big thing we focused on, the bye. These women have never done a bye before. Our coaches have done a bye. We used to do 2 byes, but these athletes have never done a bye. So it's really odd to like get all this momentum and then have it just stop cold. And you have to handle about 25 minutes of inactivity. So we went up to the locker room and I laid on the floor and stared at the ceiling in my room. And these guys were crazy in the other room, like loud, aggressive, like I don't know what May was doing, but so that was really important. I know that sounds a little bit silly, but it's not, because the team chemistry, handling that moment, staying relaxed, enjoying themselves, having fun, knowing they basically have an entire meet left, they were very loose, and I liked that a lot. And then we did a really good job coming out of the bye and being really good on bars. I think we stuck, if I'm looking at this, 5 dismounts, right? Maybe you had the tiniest little jiggle, maybe 4.5.
Jiggle.
Yeah, 4.5. But that's really great. Like, that was phenomenal. So, and we score built on that event. And Danny, of course, credit to her too. When you get started on the event and the first person up nails their dismount, it builds momentum, builds excitement. It's contagious. Things, you've seen it in basketball games, 3-pointers get contagious, those kind of things. Sticking is contagious. So if somebody does it right in the beginning spot, it's really, you might see it roll from the whole team. So that was a really cool thing to see. Beam was stellar. I'm super proud of Audrey, number 1. She got injured this week. No one knew. In fact, she didn't tell our trainer until the next day. But she has a toe strain, and that's not easy to handle when you're on beam. That's actually why she didn't even warm up vault. We decided to keep her off that. But so she was not 100%, I will say that. Like, she was probably working through that a little bit. And again, our starter on beam, very important to set the tone. And then Ava, also super proud of her. Like, she had to overcome a miss from the last meet. And whenever you have to do that, you have to be really strong mentally. So was really proud of how she was very aggressive, didn't hold back. And then the rest of this group just was like rolling. I mean, great routine after great routine. 6 stuck dismounts, including Kat, who hasn't stuck for a few meets. She hasn't stuck for 2 meets, so this was big for her to stick that, I think. So Beam was just amazing. And then Reagan, of course, capping it off, doing that routine that we've seen the same routine many, many times this season. So very consistent, incredibly consistent. And floor, again, same thing. Audrey starting us off. That was huge. Belle did a great routine. Just felt like it built all the way through till the end. And then Faith, I mean, it was the best routine I've seen her do. So legitimately, that was definitely, and she danced more. We worked on this just the other day, facial expression and getting a little more animated during her routine. And she was definitely that. So good job. Because she's a little shy. I know she doesn't seem like it, but on floor she can hold back a little in that category. And then Jove, that was definitely the best second pass you've done all year. Best landing, no foot slide, nada. Okay, and then ultimately, like, this was 7 of our seniors last meet. So, You're one of them. It was very emotional, and even though we had senior night last week, this was really the end, and I think they kind of made it unforgettable. So that's it.
All right, questions.
KJ, it feels like every time we've been in here after a meet the last few weeks, we've been talking about you guys breaking some new program record, some new individual record. Is it pretty rare for a team to still be improving this late in the season?
I don't know. I think if you're peaking at the right time, you're still improving right now. So I would say it's more common to see people come up here at the end. I think we saw some great performances from the other teams in this meet. Denver had a phenomenal meet. They were pushing us the whole way. Like, you want your team to be going this way. But what I do think is rare is to break so many records in 1 year, and to break this record that has stood for 20 years. Like, that is very unusual. Someone said to me after the meet, I really love watching this team. This team's a little different, and I absolutely agree. I don't think they take themselves too seriously. I don't think they dwell on mistakes, and I think they're there for the other person. So if they do make a mistake, they're there pushing the next person, and if they don't, very cohesive, a very good group.
KJ, obviously the scoring has been changed since 20 years ago when they set that record. How impressive is it that this group broke that, the harder scoring?
It's very impressive. I mean, I can't even tell you. And vault in particular has changed since then. Almost all the vaults were 10.0s back then. So the 1.5, which is the vault we predominantly do with the exception of Hannah, but all 6 of our vaults are 10s. Not every team has that around the country. So we do have that little advantage. Back then, they all started from a 10. It is harder to do now because of that. But it's also harder because there's just some really great and incredible athletes out there. I mean, there's great athletes all over the country doing great things. So really proud of them.
So you got a little bit emotional out there when all these perfect 10s were happening. What does this team mean to you? And going further into regionals and nationals, what are you looking forward to seeing her do?
Yeah, I got emotional. I did get emotional when Faith got a 10. I did get emotional, and I saw the score up above say 8.5, because I knew 0.022 or 0.025 was what we needed to get the record, and I just knew it was going to happen. So that was very emotional, I think, for this team to be able to do that. Even though Jordan hadn't gone yet, kind of know what Jordan's going to do. Sorry, Joe. So that was really emotional. And it means, honestly, they do it. They get all the credit. They're the ones in the gym working their buns off every single day, following curfew, making sacrifices. We talked about this week, no regrets at the end of these 5 weeks, at the end of the postseason. Make every sacrifice you can, so at the end, no matter what happens, you will feel great about it because you made good decisions and the right choices and gave it everything you had. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Faith, how'd it feel getting your first 10 tonight?
Felt great. Going into my last pass and hitting it, you know what your best routine feels like, and that really did feel like my best routine.
How was your preparation any different tonight? Were you just feeling it? Were you just on?
You just gotta do you, when you go out there. Just focusing on the little things, as Tom says, and going out there and having fun.
Yeah. Jordan, 3. Are you shocked, or what?
Yes, I am.
What are you feeling? Yes, I am. What are you feeling right now, and what is this looking for the future going into even next year too?
Yeah, it's just really exciting, everything coming together. We all work so hard in the gym, but, especially vault, I've really been working on those landings, and I stick multiple in practice every day, but just I've been super close the past few meets, so sticking that was really just a highlight for me. And Lou, I know, too.
KJ, how much more impressive is this record with 4 judges judging each event as opposed to just 2 during the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Usually your scores are really very accurate when you have 4 opinions. So I would say that even makes it more special.
Jordan, what does getting Gymnast of the Year mean, and how do you feel like you performed tonight?
Yeah, and that means a lot. You know, I've really worked on my confidence, my consistency, and really just working on the little things this year. So just, you know, having a great year so far and really just looking for the future and building off of that. So.
I feel like something clicked in a way this week. Do you guys think, not saying you guys aren't amazing in general, was there anything in specific that y'all did to prepare, or maybe someone said to y'all that just made everything really, really, really work for y'all this week?
I feel like we were just kind of loose and we were just vibing.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's
having a
just
good
like
time.
our team is so calm, like especially compared to like other teams. Like we have such confidence in ourselves, and each and every one of us all trust each other. So it's just such a love and a family type of like feeling when we go out there and just doing what we know how to do.
Yeah, just vibing. Just
vibing.
Okay, I'm on it.
Right, any other questions?
Thanks, you guys. Oh,
One more.
yeah.
What's regionals looking like? Do we know anything right now?
I have no idea where everyone else finished. It was looking like we were gonna head to Ann Arbor, but with Denver. But now I don't think
Alabama and UCLA.
Okay,
Alabama and UCLA are 8 and 9 as of right now. I don't know if Pac-12 scores are in yet.
Yeah.
You see they dropped them.
No, they went up.
Oh, they went off.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it.